There are a number of ways in which I think about my own life when I think about the movie They Live. And it was several years ago, back in 2012. I may have this on file somewhere. I believe I do. I did some commentary, kind of like a director's cut, over They Live, kind of gave my own interpretation of what was going on inside the mind of Roddy Piper, for example. But we see this individual who is traveling with a backpack looking for new opportunities, who wants to believe in the American dream, who starts waking up though to a greater reality. And in my travels, whether it be going to Dallas, Texas, where at that time I started to become more aware of the term Archon, for example. I always felt like I dealt with the interference prior to that, and They Live really has a lot of metaphors for the Archons and the human elite interface that potentially are serving something else. There was a lot of hints. A lot of people like to say They Live as a documentary, but they don't really take it seriously and actually discuss, though, what the film is actually about. A lot of people just get really into the persona of Rowdy Piper, with that quote about bubblegum and holding a gun. That's not really what draws me in, the bubblegum guy holding a gun. It's really what the movie's about. It's about a person waking up and, whether it's put on the sunglasses and seeing the subliminals, or whether it's taking off the sunglasses and seeing the subliminals, or being willing to be a traveler in a new land, and then going like, what is this place? And then needing to be like, um, rugged, if you will. Like, here I am. I'm about to take a backpack on Greyhound, feeling like Roddy Piper, going to Los Angeles, passing through the Los Angeles Greyhound Depot. Very few people. I know hardly anyone in California. I think most of you are in the South, um, other planets. Everybody's somewhere else. So it's like, a stranger in a strange land with nothing but a backpack, but there's also a thrill, and because I'm not from LA, looking at it, it's like looking at it through the eyes of Rowdy Piper, looking at, feeling at the subliminals, the control, the mind control. And here I am going to a place where so many lies are projected. I want to project to them on an almost telepathic level, tell the truth. Tell the truth. You're going to see the commentary from the beach. I'm already thinking about stuff I want to talk about, but I'll wait till I get there. But like, the basic idea, which I'll expand on, you have a place of entertainment and technology and ivory towers, and so to speak, and what are the humans doing with it? What's the purpose of it all? It's like their energy is being harvested. We're being mind controlled, so their energy is harvested as well. So he's awakening to this. And I'll be awakening to some things as well. I was in Dallas, Texas, fourth largest city in the U.S., that I picked up on certain things. So did I in Philadelphia, as well as Washington, D.C. L.A. is something that I've always been kind of wary of. When I think about downtown LA, I think about, that scene where he, puts on the sunglasses. I think about places like LA. I think about places like Vegas, even downtown Seattle. Really, if you look and read between the lines, even downtown Portland, well, what has become of our modern cities. And then you have the travelers, whether they be in an RV or a backpack. Maybe you've seen them along the road, but we have travelers all across this nation traveling in search of something new. Very ironic. Some humans are demonized if they're traveling, if they're going to new lands and new places. Some people are not. It's considered a rite of passage. So, in my own travels, I've traveled this nation during various times. I can imagine the challenges that this nation will face, that the travelers will face during a time of war. That is a time that could be very, very complicated. But here we are anyway, going back to They Live. Drones in the sky weren't around then, but it was in the movie. It is now. Here we have the cross in this image. Here we see people running to the cross, where we wonder whether they actually believe in the teachings of Jesus. But they use it to prop up even their own alternative media outlets. Yeah, yeah. And they act like they're woke. Isn't that the slang that people are using today? Kids these days, woke. Yeah, let's just shorten the language. And maybe in 10 years, we're to say, I'm W. Well, I wouldn't say woke or awoke. But I'm W. You know, people get all into the They Live meme and the glasses and bubblegum memes, and they're not even seeing, right, There's people out there that are asleep right now. There are people out there that are asleep right now that think that our government has changed. The changing of a president, the system changes, but they know it doesn't change. So they make an excuse and say, well, what do you think? One man can change it all, right? No, that's what we were saying to begin with. To begin with, we were saying the whole thing was a farce to get us to go to sleep. Whoop, 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 sleep, sleep, sleep. And that's what we have. Look at the cell phone addiction. There's another article that I saw today, about smartphone addiction and young teenage females and brain damage and other personality disorders that are coming about. It is very rare in which I see a young woman or a young, prettier woman without a cell phone. One of the reasons I left Babylon was for the space from other humans that have been fried, if you will, by Babylon's programming. Another thing I say a lot also with regards to off-gridders, you could take the human out of Babylon. You can't necessarily take Babylon and its programming and its mind control out of the human. Some of them bring Babylon off the grid, yet they think they're off grid. But they're not off grid. They're very much in the grid through the misuse of technology. So maybe you yourself have identified with the traveler in search of new opportunities, having nothing but your belongings in your backpack. And maybe you also have identified with the idea of it making you stronger. This is the mistake many men are making that send me these silly emails about they bought. I bought land out coast. The account will come out one day. Are you really? Because out of hundreds that say that, no one actually does. They just say that. What a concept. I will come one day to live off grid. I'll be free too. And it's like, a lot of these males, I don't know if I'd call them men per se, but a lot of these males, what they fail to understand is sometimes you actually have to leave your job to be willing to walk the walk. Roddy Piper with the backpack, looking for opportunities and things of that nature, without actually having the bling bling first. And that's what some people need. They need to hit the road and travel and experience the freedoms that are out there while they have the ability to experience those freedoms. Okay, because thinking going off the grid when you finally get your 30K and that's going to work for some people. It's not going to work for everyone. In the end, this world, these cities don't want to let the people go. It actually takes action, to get outside the box of these realities. But for a guy like me who's been living in extreme rule to a certain degree, well, there's a town, the next town over, and the next town over, and yada, yada, yada. But I'm far removed from cities like Denver, Portland, LA, Seattle, New York, Miami, and the list goes on. And the beat goes on, and the beat goes on. So for me, going from a smart meter free reality, a cell phone free reality, a TV free reality, being back in an area where you walk into a bar, they got 9 TVs on. You go through like a Greyhound bus, you got Wi-Fi on. I don't have Wi-Fi here at home. It's all plugged in via Ethernet. I don't do Wi-Fi. Homie, don't play that. I'm Wi-Fi sober. I'm cell phone sober. I'm smart meter sober. And then whatever other creepy little radio waves and smart waves they've got going on in the city, sure, I'm affected by certain things. I'm affected by negative news to a certain degree. I got to maintain my mind, body, and spirit. Ultimately, I'm going back into the grid to feel those things, to be that much more grateful for what I have here at home. Okay, it's been too many years in which I've traveled and I've slept on other people's floors looking for a new opportunity or an alternative media network or someone willing, right, to help organize on a logistic level the nation's first alternative media news team, to where there wouldn't just be people going to InfoWars. So, I've traveled with nothing but a backpack to meet someone in 2012 in Dallas because he said we were going to start an alternative media network, and it was really just his own little MLM thing, and it never got off the ground. But was I willing to sleep on a floor? Was I willing to sleep on a piece of cardboard? Which I did because I couldn't find a place to rent in 2012. Sure, he paid me a few hundred per week to stay there and help him and produce content, even though the project didn't get started because he was well off. But was his heart in it? No. Did I travel later to Kansas City, Missouri on the hopes that Jeff, the individual that I visited there, and his girlfriend, that he was being honest with those Facebook messages, about wanting to start a studio, wanting to, no, not really. Once he found out I wasn't really into Bitcoin, all of a sudden I was less valuable to him, you know? So that didn't work out either. Did I also sleep in the back of the Portland Preparedness Center because it was convenient for me and convenient for them to not pay me when I helped a few guys start a survival center store? Yes, I did. I have bent over backwards by snakes in the survival store business and the alternative media. So it's like when we talk about like seeing the all-seeing eye and seeing the archonic agenda, top of the pyramid, the mind control, it very much includes those individuals that claim that they're part of the truth movement. That's what it really means to put on sunglasses. Just like that meme my friend Angelus made for me where I'm, taking off the glasses like a scene out of They Live, and I'm seeing Alex Jones for the archon that he is, the deceiver that he is. It's always kind of humorous when a new subscriber freaks out like a sixth grader and start degenerating to like a name calling like, oh, Alex Ansary is a $2 whore because I don't like Alex Jones. A $2 whore. Wow. Wow. So that's what you think about, giving a whore $2 after you rape her. Great. I'm not exactly going after the vote of freaks on the internet and accidentally subscribe to this channel. What it means to be woke, to dumb down my language, is to be awake to the provocateurs in the alternative media, to be able to put on the sunglasses and see the mainstream media promoting Alex Jones so they can destroy the 9/11 truth meme, so they can destroy other memes of truth by putting a freak on the front of it. That's what it means to wake up today in today's reality. It's wrong for so many to demonize innocent people that are on the run, if you will, from their economic problems or from wars and disasters, especially when they were not the cause of those wars and disasters, but simply being born, if you will, in the wrong country at the wrong time. One day they're going to target Americans. One day there's going to be a propaganda campaign to even attack white Americans. And it's going to come from that same evil that on the other side during our day right now was bombing the third world, back to the Stone Age. This is the world that I present to you, a world of darkness that we should stand against, that uses the internet to put us into our boxes and then fight, fight, fight all over the illusion of scarcity. And they control the supply and they control the demand. Thus, down below, people start acting like they're prisoners. They create a society where some men haven't dated in many years. They become lonely and depressed. And the reality that they have socially engineered begins to manifest as we see more sociopaths emerging in today's day and age, misusing technology, using technology to stalk, harass, defame, and doing anything but actually standing up for the little guy, for those that are actually victimized at the hands of the superstate, this global superstate. And now we're seeing the co-opting of the alternative media on a level that members of the alternative media can't even recognize or admit. And that's what I've been calling the fake disinformation that's on the internet. So if they can't even call out what does exist, the fake news that does exist, how can they hold on to their platforms if they can't even put on the sunglasses? There's a scene where he's fighting his friend and he's trying to get his friend to put on the sunglasses. Have you ever been in that situation where you're trying to get someone to put on the sunglasses and tell them to stop worshiping Obama or stop worshiping Clinton or stop worshiping Trump, to not pick sides, to stop dividing, to stop splitting, to just step back and truly feel independence? Do you know what it's like to feel hated as an independent? To be accused of being a Trump supporter when you're not? To be accused of being a Clinton supporter when you're not? Both? To be accused of both? Why? Because you're not picking a side. I can testify that I've had that slander. Oh yeah, a poor man's Donald Trump. That's what they called me. If you talk about being naive to what my content is about, you're a poor man's Donald Trump, Alex Ansary. See, they'll insult me within their framework of what makes them feel good. Okay, well, someone else will be like, I can't believe a libtard like you has 10,000. That was at Nikki Bravo. Left a comment like that on my channel, like just bizarre. It's just like, this is what the internet's put on the glasses, ladies and gentlemen, and see the divide because you may have had those experiences where it's like we're fighting with our friends, verbally, spiritually, not so much physically, but the physical fight was a metaphor for how we've been divided. But in the end, his friend does put on the sunglasses and he sees the light, so to speak. He sees the light. So, yeah, I am about to go into the world of They Live with a backpack and sunglasses into an actual train station where most reviews say do not leave the station. Do not, do not, do not leave the station. In a reality where, there's profiling just towards every also Greyhound rider and sometimes aggression from some staff members because you dared ride Greyhound. Boy, you're going to be that poor, you're going to be treated like you're poor. Now, that is a fallen world. Then, going back, I can remember days in which, and mistakes I've made early in life, back in 1999, 2000, to where I found myself, hardened, looking at, you know, the jobs available at Instant Labor or Portland Ready or Ready Portland, I think is the name of the Labor Ready or Instant Labor place in Portland, where, even before I really got a chance to travel the nation, I fell on hard times, really hard times. And, like a scene out of They Live, I started to see reality as it was. And I went through one level of an evolutionary leap in consciousness. And the old Alex Ansary from the early 90s or the late 90s was gone. And the Alex Ansary of the early 2000s, the post 9/11 era, to where I truly believed and still do in exposing this new world order agenda, which I was really unaware of prior, but always suspected something was going on. That aspects of our world and our governments were really controlled. And then 9/11 was the wake up bell for me. And then all of a sudden, the awakening took place. And here I am, it's like, we go to another level. We take off the glasses. You notice in the movie where it hurts because they're seeing so much truth. They got to take off the glasses. They got to get some rest. Then they put on another glasses again for another session, but they got to be careful because it's straining their eyesight and it's stressful when you know too much and you pick up too much. So why do you think I went off grid? A guy as sensitive as me. Why do you think I went off grid? I think more of you know more than ever, than whoever was watching my channel in 20. It seemed like there was a group that watched my channel up to 2012, 2013, and then just jumped bail. And then after 2013, 2014, 2015, like a new crowd of you found my channel. How many of you, though, have been around since the beginning of the channel? That's what I'd be curious to know. But yeah, if you'd like to support this channel, check it out. Patreon.com/Alex Ansary. You can also, thank you, Liz, for your donation. It comes at the perfect time as I get ready to get on the bus. My PayPal ID is Alex_Ansary at hotmail.com. With that, again, contemplating this reality, as they say, the quiet before the storm, the quiet before the smart meter, so to speak. I'm Alex Ansary, signing out for November 21st, 2017.